in jails may land some people in court. Proposals to ban loose-fitting pants are popping up nationwide. Trenton Councilwoman Annette, I'm gonna just skip her last name, is drafting a law to outlaw baggy pants. So one thing that I think is important as readers is that we organize our thinking. So what I'm gonna do, based on this, is go ahead and draw a line here, because you know we do like to chunk. We chunk. So I'm gonna consider this part one.
Sorry, I'm big hand in the way. So
Right?
what I did was
Part one
basically
is introducing me to the idea.
take my first sentences from my first part, and what I'm going to do next is paraphrase it. I've read my first introduction paragraph. It's already told me what I'm going to be reading through the rest of the passage. But now, each paragraph after that is going to elaborate on this brief point, okay? So in your passage, we're looking at W.B. Du Bois. We're reading about his life. I can count down 2, 3 paragraphs, draw a line. This is what I call quadranting my passage. If I separate my passage or chunk it in like 4 parts, I can put those pieces together to get an overall summary, or it kind of helps me think in smaller pieces instead of having to think of the whole passage. So what I'm going to do here with this first part is I'm going to paraphrase my passage on this first part, or my first quadrant.
Okay, so what about the baggy pants? What is going on with baggy pants? Okay, people, well, let's start with the idea that there are law proposals.
Dr. Marcus.
For people wearing baggy pants. Now, did I go through, now this is interesting, did I go through and read through the whole thing? Now, I am for the sake of, yes, we do need to read it. It says, some cities have adopted laws that forbid wearing of pants baggy enough to they're supposed to wear undergarments in some communities. Offenders can face fines and even jail time. Proposals to ban loose-fitting pants are popping up nationwide. In Del Cambre, Louisiana, wearing the pants can lead to 6 months in jail and fines up to $500. Similar laws are being considered in Atlanta, Georgia, and in Trenton, New Jersey. Trenton Councilwoman Annette is drafting a law to outlaw baggy pants. The message is clear. We don't want to see your backside, she said. So let's go to part 2, okay? Part 2.
All right, let me stop here, because I want you guys to be able to do this in your passage, all right? So, go ahead and draw a line under the first 3 paragraphs. The first 3. So, of course, you guys should already have the first sentence highlighted, but I'm going to go ahead and read the passage. It says, well, I've already read the first paragraph. William Edward Burgart Du Bois was born on February 23rd, 1868 in Great Barrington, Massachusetts. At a young age, Du Bois proved to be a great scholar. He was at the very top of his class in high school. After high school, Du Bois attended Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee. Moving to the South had a lasting effect on Du Bois. In Nashville, Du Bois witnessed racism firsthand. His experiences shaped his ideas on race problems. So, what am I learning about this man's life from these 3 paragraphs? What have I learned? Huh?
He has a bad life.
Where's my evidence? Remember, if you say it, you need to be able to prove it.
Since he moved to to the South, he's starting to experience his ideas on racism.
He started experiencing racism. Did he experience racism all his life?
No.
So can I make the statement that he had a hard life?
No.
So, in the beginning, where was he born?
In Nashville, Tennessee. Great Barrington.
He was born in Massachusetts. So if I have any prior knowledge about slavery, who here is familiar with slavery? Who here knows a little bit about slavery? At least some. Where did slavery take place?
So,
In the South. Where did W.B. Du Bois, where was he born and raised at?
Massachusetts.
In the North. So do you think he experienced slavery as a child?
No.
Did he experience racism as a child?
No.
So what do these paragraphs tell me? Where he was born and when he first experienced racism. So it's kind of introducing me to his work as this young civil rights leader, right? Can I say part 1 introduces me to Du Bois as a young civil rights leader after slavery? I know that's the main idea, but that's also what part 1 is telling me about. Hold on, let me write it somewhere. It introduces me, hashtag, you'll be right here. I'm gonna write it on my notice and note thing. Part 1 introduces me to Du Bois as a civil rights leader after slavery. Where he went to school, what happened, all right? So now I want you guys to continue watching how I did part 2. Part 2 of my passage is going to be different because it's an opinion passage. And it's going to give me 2 different viewpoints. Your part 2, once you highlight every first sentence, is going to continue to build on the life of this civil rights leader.
I'm going to go through, highlight these sentences. This is a long one. It's not getting to this period.
That's the whole sentence?
Yes. Remember author's craft. They may write things differently.
All right, if you look down at that bookmark on the side of your name tag, they do talk about quotations, I think. Why did someone say something? So thinking about this, as we're going through this, I do have several quotations. But I do want to focus on this section first. I'm going to draw my line. Remember, we chunked part 2. So it says the baggy pants trend emerged from prison. What does this tell me about this trend? Where did it come from? For this one, you can draw your line probably here. Take the first 2 paragraphs At
after
one
it.
Trenton hip-hop clothing store, shopper Mark Wise 30 said that he wears the baggy jeans for practical reasons, saying the reason I don't wear tight pants is because it's easier to get money out of my pockets this way. It's just more comfortable. My next first sentence, it should be my personal choice what to wear, said Jimmy Person, 34, at a recent hearing on the issue in Atlanta. And it says, for young people, it's a form of rebellion and identity, said Adrian Easy A.D. Harris, a founding member of the Bronx legendary rap group called Crush Brothers. So using this, I want you guys to help me come up with an idea that would encompass all of this information that supports. How can I summarize or paraphrase this in my own words?
So one thing we should constantly be doing is trying to put the passage in our own words. So as you're reading about W.B. Du Bois from 1888
against the laws, right?
to his
So I know
uphill
these are
battle,
against the law.
what can you say about it in your own words?
Well,
So go
why?
ahead and start reading it, but you can also pay attention to my hashtag
They
because that's what I'm about to go
say they
into.
like baggy pants. It's easier. What else do we have? It's comfortable. Another reason. Easy to get your money. What's another reason he said? It should be a personal choice, right? So I could say Trent came from prison. Let me stop there. That's one part. This tells me where the trend came from.
What does your next
And if I
paragraph
ask
tell you
myself this question,
in your passage?
why would my author include that this trend came from prison? And then if I look at the paragraph right under here, they believe it's a bad influence on children. What do you think the author is trying to imply? it should stop because it looks like what? Doesn't look like rebellion, but if my trend came from prison, they included that information, right? They said it looked like it came from prison, but then they say, but those who disagree see the trend as a bad influence on children. So what do you think they don't want to what message they don't want children to pick up? They don't want it to persuade children to dress like, I would say, prisoners. I'm gonna just connect this. Now this paragraph is also interesting in that it gives us more historical information. By the late 1980s, the trend had made it to hip-hop videos and high school hallways. On the average American street, however, the style continues to face opposition. Some people feel loose-fitting pants are in poor taste, but others consider the fashion a statement of African American dignity and pride. So here we now know that the trend also supports what? Where did it start showing up in? In hip hop, right? So where was Trenton? Where was our shop? Where was Mark White shopping at? In a hip hop store. So we're seeing a connection between the thoughts. That makes sense? So we're looking here. Why do you think Trenton and Jimmy Person's quotes are important? Who are they to the law? Do they support or oppose the sagging pants law? They oppose. All right. We can even go as far as saying comfortable. DeMarcus, I love you. And practical. We can also go here and say choice. The air just came on.
Oh, same period of time.
Fashionable. Identity. So now we're at part 3.
Now, I think this is important to think about when you're hashtagging. Oftentimes when we hashtag, we just hashtag what we're thinking, hashtag funny, hashtag interesting. But what does that tell me about my topic? It doesn't tell me anything. Hashtag that's stupid. It doesn't tell me why they are against the law. It just tells me I don't agree with it. And I can talk about my I don't agree in a short answer response. But my multiple choice question is not going to ask me that. So what I did here was I hashtag, they are not for the law. Why do they like to sag? Because it's comfortable, they have a choice, and it's fashionable. You guys have your next few paragraphs, all right? Your next paragraph talks about, based on the first sentence, it talks about W.B. Du Bois going where after leaving Fisk University? Where did he go?
To Harvard University.
To Harvard University. And he became the what?
First African American to earn a PhD.
A PhD. Is this something new that I learned about W.B. Du Bois' life?
Yes.
So should we hashtag that?
Yes.
Hashtag Harvard, hashtag first PhD. Hashtag Harvard, hashtag PhD. That's just based off the first few sentences. Again, I have not taken a bunch of time to go through. I'm just scanning and getting some main ideas. So I am going to read the entire paragraph because they may have some other things that I need to see. We got to that part. In 1897, Du Bois returned to the South. He accepted a job as a professor at Atlanta